You know how it is, late at night, you're hungry, and a hot meal is just a few taps away on your phone. It's so easy for us, but for the drivers who actually bring us that food, their journey can be, well, a ride through a world of some pretty extreme risks. Some of those risks are very real, and some, well, they defy all explanation. We're going to dive into the story of one driver whose late-night delivery took a turn that, honestly, nobody could have seen coming. So those are the actual words of a food delivery driver named Kang Soo. He was recording himself during a delivery that would pretty much blow up online. He called it extreme, and you know what? That might be the understatement of the year. Okay, so here's how it all went down. An order pops up late, we're talking around 1:30 in the morning, and apparently driver after driver saw it and just swiped left. They passed on it. But not King Soo. He decided to take it, having no idea he was about to ride straight into the biggest challenge of his entire career. Just try to imagine this for a second. It's 2 in the morning. It is pitch black. Kang Soo actually has to get off his motorcycle and physically push it across this rickety bridge. I mean, it is so narrow that his handlebars are literally scraping the sides. The only thing lighting his way is his own headlamp cutting through this totally suffocating darkness. And get this, below him is a 20-meter drop, straight down onto a rocky riverbed. We're talking one wrong move, one little slip, and that's it. It's all over. But he just kept pushing forward. Why? Because a customer was waiting. And he did it. He actually made it across and delivered the food to a guy named Wayu who was just waiting there by the side of the road. So story's over, right? Job done? Well, not quite. After King Soo posted the video of this insane trip, it went totally viral. And that's when people from that exact village started leaving comments. And what they had to say, well, it turned this really difficult delivery into a seriously chilling mystery. Yeah, as the video started spreading like wildfire, the comment section just lit up with messages from locals. And they all seemed to have the same question on their minds, and a really, really unsettling answer to go with it. So according to all these villagers, there was no one named Wayu living there. No one at all. The only Wayu they'd ever known was a construction worker, a guy who'd been working on that very same bridge and had tragically fallen to his death. Okay, so a ghost story on a terrifying road, I mean, that's enough to make most of us just say, nope, never driving at night again. But for drivers like Kang Soo, believe it or not, the supernatural isn't what they're really afraid of. So if it's not ghosts that keep these drivers looking over their shoulders, what is it? I mean, what could possibly be worse? The answer, it turns out, is something much more real and, honestly, a whole lot more deadly. And Kang Soo himself is crystal clear about this. He says for him, ghosts aren't the real problem. The true challenge, the threat that has actually taken the lives of some of his fellow drivers, is street robbers, or as they're known locally, Begel. And look, for Kang Soo, this is not some abstract fear. This is personal. He has survived multiple violent ambushes while just trying to do his job. Each one is this brutal reminder of the very real dangers he faces every single night. I mean, listen to this. He was attacked with a machete. It left a permanent scar on his hand. Another time, robbers hit him from behind with a heavy wooden beam. They've even set traps for him, spreading broken glass all over the road just to get him to slow down, and then chasing him with weapons. See, these aren't ghost stories. These are real, tangible, life-threatening attacks. And yet, even with these all-too-real dangers lurking around every corner, the strange, the unexplainable, it just keeps happening. Turns out that impossible delivery over the bridge, that wasn't a one-time thing. So on another late-night run, he pulls up to this house in a dark, kind of isolated housing complex. He gets to the door and it just cracks open, just enough for a hand to reach out, take the food, and pass him the cash. That's it. He never even saw the customer's face. It was a cash-on-delivery order. And like he always does, Kang Soo just took the money, stuck it straight into his bike's storage compartment without even counting it, and drove away. Now, the total for that order was exactly 67,000 rupiah. Just a random detail, right? Seemed totally unimportant at the time. But it would turn out to be incredibly significant the very next day. So when he finally sat down to count his earnings from the night before, he realized he was short. And the missing amount? You guessed it, precisely 67,000 rupiah. The cash from that one specific, super strange delivery, it had just vanished. Okay, so now he's really confused. He's thinking, maybe I just drop the money, right? So he decides to drive back to that house, this time in the daylight, just to check. But what he found was way, way more disturbing than just a few missing bills.
The house, it was a complete ruin. The roof was caved in, it was totally derelict, obviously abandoned for years. And the most unsettling part of all, there was no door. The doorway, he saw a hand reach out of the night before, it was just an empty, gaping hole in the wall.
Okay, so let's just take stock here. You've got potential ghosts on one hand and very real violent criminals on the other. It really makes you wonder, why would anyone willingly put themselves through this, night after night? And that is a totally valid question. But the answer, it isn't about being a thrill seeker or even about being brave. For King Su and for thousands of other drivers just like him, the motivation is something much more fundamental. He takes these risks because he has to. It's that simple. He's talked about his lowest points, how he had to sell his wife's wedding jewelry just to make ends meet. He slept on sidewalks in the pouring rain. He's eaten stale leftover food because that was literally all he had. So this job, with all of its insane dangers, it's not just a job. It's his lifeline. So at the end of the day, what does this all mean? It means every single time an order gets placed, a driver like Kang Soo is gearing up to head out into the dark. They are literally navigating a world where the line between an eerie ghost story and the very real, brutal threat of violence is just completely blurred. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? The convenience we take for granted is built on the backs of people who are facing risks we can barely even imagine. And they're doing it all for a job that for them is purely about survival. So maybe the next time you order food late at night, just take a second to ask yourself, who is riding through the dark for you?